Hi, I'm Michael, and this is California. And on Friday, we got some very unexpected news on new unemployment numbers. In fact, so unexpected on the positive side, it's left a lot of folks to wonder if maybe there was some monkey business going on with the new numbers, maybe for political gain or for a stronger negotiating position for the White House and Republicans. So today, we're going to talk about the new unemployment numbers and whether we should take them at face value or maybe have a healthy amount of skepticism with regards to their accuracy. Now, before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it useful, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. So let's talk about what was actually expected from the unemployment rate. So economists far and wide had really anticipated to have really bad economic numbers this time. So at 20% unemployment rate or higher, given the fact that many states are still on lockdown, many folks are still experiencing the pandemic, and unemployment rates had risen over the last 3 months up to 40 million Americans who have applied for unemployment. And up to 1/3 of them have not yet received their unemployment benefits from their state agency. So needless to say, even the most optimistic economists were predicting we would enter into a recession, and pessimistic economists are saying that we are going to enter into a depression. So getting these numbers that show there's a positive side to the economy, unemployment numbers are going down, was very counterintuitive to what most economists had expected. Also, economists are not always known for being the best at predicting all aspects of an economy. Economies are really complicated. And as the old saying goes, economists have predicted the last 10 out of the last 5 recessions. So it's possible that there was data in the BLS that had been in a blind spot or had been a dark horse for most traditional economists. Something like the fact that millions of folks got rehired in the last couple of months, or the effects of the PPP program that encouraged small businesses and businesses to rehire or to hire on new folks because they were getting additional stimulus to fund it. So as we look at the BLS numbers, obviously the most interesting part of it is the falling unemployment rate. So it went from 14.7% to 13.3% unemployment rate, which essentially means the economy added 2.5 million jobs in the last couple months. And it'd be very interesting to see where these jobs got added. They can't all have been from Amazon and Zoom. Now, undoubtedly, these numbers are still very high, still very unprecedented. And there's tons of folks who are still hurting. But just because the numbers seem counterintuitive, does that necessarily mean that there has been meddling by parties who want to show that the economy is doing better? So does this mean that there was actually any meddling in the BLS numbers? And at this point, no, it doesn't look like there's any meddling in the numbers. Now, yes, of course, there's margins of errors, and as well, BLS admitted there was a 3% misclassification for individuals who should have been unemployed but were not. But we can't neglect the fact that there has been trillions of dollars worth of stimulus pumped into the economy and into small business, in which 75% of the money paid out actually had to be paid to employees or to rehire employees who had previously been let go. So at the moment, it doesn't look like the BLS is being affected by any political operators, and it seems like they are relatively autonomous from the US government, as well as the fact that if there was any cooking of the books, it'd be easy for economists to spot when they follow the breadcrumbs and all the data that shows how the BLS got to their final numbers. So my biggest concern, moreover from whether there has been actual meddling or not, is how will this information be used moving forward? Because yes, it is great that there are new jobs, 2.5 million jobs, as well as a decreasing unemployment rate. But the reality is that this unemployment rate has really benefited those people who are easiest to get back to work. Folks who have higher income, folks who are tech workers are able to work from home, but it leaves out all those folks who are really difficult to rehire, who have jobs that are difficult to employ during a lockdown, specifically folks like African Americans, Hispanics, and women who have jobs that they can't do without talking to somebody or meeting with somebody in person. Furthermore, these numbers could be used to justify prematurely decreasing benefits that were meant to help folks during the rest of the lockdown, or even to force liberal states and cities to open back up economies even before it's potentially safe. Overall, there's still lots of unknowns moving forward. And these unemployment numbers obviously are telling us what had happened in the past, but really we can tell they're not great indicators of what's going to happen in the future. And there's some really important things coming up in the next couple months. One is that the PPP money is going to be over. It's going to be exhausted in the next quarter, which means that there could potentially be a second wave of unemployment, as well as the fact that there are still many states who are preliminarily opening up their economies, which could lead to a second wave of the pandemic. So these are things that we should definitely keep an eye on moving forward and pay close attention to, because of the fact that if there is a second wave of unemployment, as well as a second wave of the pandemic, we may all actually be right back where we started before. Thank you so much for watching our video, and I hope that you found it interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. We love to see your comments and questions. We'll be happy to make a new post or a new video to answer those questions as soon as possible. Now, also, we here at California, we know health insurance. So whether it's private health insurance or Covered California or Medicare or Medi-Cal or Medicaid or even health insurance for a small group, we know health insurance, because we all know that it can be very complicated moving from health insurance from your work and trying to find health insurance on your own privately. Or if you're turning 65 and you're trying to figure out what are your best Medicare options. So we know health insurance and we can help you through that. If you have any questions about your health care, put those down below. We'll make a new video or post for those as well. Now, other than that, I am Michael, and this is California, wishing you a happy, healthy day.